That's too funny.
Well, I'm having a great time here with William T. Young, author of the Shack book, and it's he's tearing it up right now. It's definitely miraculous as far as what's going down. Totally, from the lives touched to families restored.
To things that are, people have been on their way to the divorce court and read this together and stopped.
Wow,
that's a true story.
Yeah.
People who've been, their lives have been shattered and damaged by abuse of one sort or another.
Yeah.
Been working it out. Got an email from an extended family in Australia.
Yeah.
And 11 of the family members were abused by a stepfather who was a minister.
Oh man!
And nobody knew until after he passed away. Oh man! And then it comes out, and people want to suppress it because they don't want to ruin the reputation of a minister, which makes no sense. And but they wrote me an email and said, "This is restoring our family. 7 have been through it, 4 to go." What do you do with that?
I mean, when you wrote the book, it wasn't even intentionally for being published.
Publishing was not on the radar because I've never published anything. I'm a total accidental author. I mean, it's crazy. I wrote it as a gift for my kids because my wife had been after me for a few years to write something for the kids. And I've written poems and songs and short stories, but they were all gifts. I've written things in cards and newsletters, and I've done some business writing, web development, web writing, and technical stuff. But I've never tried to publish anything. And like I said, it wasn't on the radar. The whole goal was, in 2005, to write a story for my kids, or write something for my kids. Go to Kinko's, put it in the spiral-bound little thing, and give it to them for Christmas. That was the sum total of what the whole thing was about. And so it was for them. It was to try to put elements of my life, and I like the idea of a story because the story has a way to communicate here and get by some of the things that are restrictive. And so this was about real pain. It was about real process. It was about the real character of God, and it was about real conversations. And those things all came together in a non-fiction in a fiction environment, and frankly, people are convinced it's non-fiction, even if it says fiction on it and whatever.
But based on your journey,
based on my journey, I'm basically the main character. In fact, the first draft I did for the kids, it was written by the main character.
Yeah, that's right.
It was written by Mackenzie Allen Phillips.
So
my kids know. But then a guy in Canada and a guy in California almost buy plane tickets to come visit Mackenzie, and I know I've got a problem with it. They're going to show up. When am I going to get to play Mackenzie?
Mackenzie's back at the shack.
Oh, sorry, you just missed it.
You took the car back to the shack.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's incredible. That's incredible. And I just have it's such a cool thing that you're actually in my neck of the woods. That's a big signing and connecting with librarians. How I met with you is just a total miracle. Well, this is a great story because I remember reading the book and I got it from. I was across the border picking up stuff in Jackie that was across the border picking up a case lot of your books. And she was talking to the guy that works there and said, "You've got to read this." And so she gave him a book. And I'm like, "What book is that?" And she goes, "It's the Shack, and you've got to read it." And she says, "The books can't be kept in the store long enough. It's just flying out the door." So I was like, keep a copy for me in the store. I'll come pick it up later. So my wife picks up 2 copies. And as soon as I started reading, I'm like, "Honey, you've got to read this now." And so we didn't put down the book while we had to do whatever, go to bed, but we finished it in 2 days. And I mean, I have not read a book in such a long time. I don't even remember any books I've read that I've wept and I've laughed and just felt pain and joy all at the same time in such a quick time.
Yeah. So let me tell my side.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out how to do a website, right? So my son Chad says, you should do WordPress. Yeah. And so I said, okay, I'll try to learn how to do this. So I go online and I find, who's your buddy that has the template?
Semi-Logic Pro?
Dennis. Yeah, Dennis. Okay, yeah. Dennis's template.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I pay for that because I need some help here.
Sure.
And I still don't know how to do what I'm doing. So I find this guy on the web that has a tutorial for this stuff.
Yeah.
And I sign up for it for 3 months, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to learn how to do this. And at least I get it out. I got the website. I got the blog up. It wasn't very pretty. And I'm actually going, God, I need some help here. I don't know what I'm doing. And I feel the burden of this on my shoulders. Yeah. And just, I don't know who to ask. And I was asking. But I don't know anybody who to ask that knows how to do WordPress.
Yeah.
And so I started thinking about doing something else because I can't get this thing to do what I want it to do.
Correct.
And so I'm stuck. And so I'm just saying, you got to bring me somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I finished reading the book the second day. So I remember it was evening or nighttime, and then I called. I went onto your site first, the shackbook.com, and there was a link to your blog. And the Shackbook looks great. I mean, it's great, consistent, creative with the cover of the book. And I go to your blog, and I'm like, man, this is one sad blog.
And I'm the first to admit it.
First of all, I was impressed that you were using Semi-Logic. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, you know what? I just felt such an urging to help you out. So I emailed you saying, hey, Paul, William, at that time.
My name is William
Paul Young. So anyway, emailing you and let you know that, I feel really compelled to share the Shackbook with friends and family. I set up I've joined a Facebook group for it and promoting it in a banner on my blog. But your blog needs help. And I've been willing to commit some time to help you out, to give it, pimp it up. And then I received an email from you saying, I know who you are.
Well, I get this email, and I'm laughing as I'm going down reading this thing, and then I go to the bottom, and I'm going, oh my God. This is the guy. This is the guy that I paid for the tutorial stuff. So God didn't just send me anybody. He sent me the guy. And I'm kind of dancing around the office going, oh, I can't believe this. So I sent you the email. Hey, brother, I'll do anything you ask me to do.
It's funny, the reply email even had all your blog username, passwords.
Oh, man.
Go for it.
That's a sign of desperation. I don't care who you are.
I'm really pleased though the way it came out. Just the creative and being able to use what you wanted, some of the natural elements, and the color scheme is calming. And then we gotta pick it up some more.
Oh, sure. No doubt. This is a lot of stuff I want to do.
Because I know we can add a way for your visitors who feel so compelled the same way I feel compelled when I went to your blog or site, to want to just talk to somebody. And so if we can give them a way to add audio or video, or even just call a number and just leave the audio testimonial endorsement or something like that, you can grab those and put it on the blog.
That would be awesome.
That would be super.
That would be. And there are people who are already creating music around the book, and I'd love to be able to upload music to it. I'd love to be able to, if we wanted to go, the book takes place in Oregon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, we would like to kind of take a trip along the path, and then take little video segments. Like, here's a little segment of Multnomah Falls. Here's a little segment of Wallowa Lake. And here's going up the trams. And I got a great idea for the shack. You know that we've already had people take their vacations following. And the book came out this May. People went this fall.
It's getting cold.
Oh yeah. I think they're hoping to get stuck up there.
I know. I have the shack experience with God.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's pretty wild.
Oh, that's amazing. So now tell me a little bit about just the book sales. I mean, what's the journey in the book sales in that?
Let's see. We couldn't find a publisher, and we'd worked about 16 months on rewriting sections to get the storyline right, to get the conversations right, and then we sent it to all these publishers. We sent it to a whole bunch of faith-based publishers, and we sent it to a whole bunch of secular publishers. And the faith-based publishers came back and, a lot of them just ignored it, And the ones that came back said, we love the book personally, but it's kind of edgy, and it doesn't really fit our niche, And the secular ones came back and said, we love the book personally, It's got too much Jesus in it. It doesn't quite fit our niche. So, all the big ones, everybody we could think of. So we're going, okay, what do we do now?
That's right.
And Wayne Jacobson and Brad Cummings said, well, kind of, you always wanted to be publishers. So they created Windblown Media as a media publication company, and with one title.
The Shack, bro.
The Shack.
Yeah.
And that's it, the one title. And here's one of the beautiful things about this. This has been a God thing from the start. Me, I don't have any identity involved in this. I have no expectation. I don't consider myself an author. I have no idea what I'm doing. And I did it as a gift. So I've got nothing, this could end tomorrow and I'd say, wow, that was fun. But there's nothing inherently, I'm hooked by this. So I'm free about this whole thing. And the collaborative process was phenomenal. Rain was able to bring what he has, Brad what he has, and it all just gelled into this. Really, it was great to begin with. It is an unbelievable book. And I don't feel a lot of ownership. So here we've got this book. We now created a publishing company. And I don't have an agreement with them. I don't have a lawyer involved. I don't have a contract. I have a relationship with two brothers. And that's it. That's all. And we love that. We'll work it out. Anything that comes up, we'll work it out. And then we didn't put anything in the promotion. We attached the Shack book site. Right. To Wayne's website. So that we didn't have to pay for anything. Because we didn't have anything. So we went out and borrowed the money for the first print run, which was 11,000 copies. What I found out is that the average bestseller sells 7,500. Did you know that? I learned that at House of James.
The average bestseller book, faith-based or secular?
Total. Across the book industry, the average book that is considered a bestseller sells 7,500 copies. The average book sells to less than 500.
Wow.
And that's worldwide, whatever.
Wow.
So, you get these books with this big push, and they'll spend $1 million on promotion, to try to get it up there. But the average bestseller is 7,500. Here we went out and paid for 11,000. And then Wayne and Brad have a podcast.
What's it called again?
TheGodJourney.com. And it's great. It was really good. It really it's fun. They do it once a week, and it's great. And they got all the archives and stuff. And so I did a show with them on the podcast, and it goes all over the world, right? And then we put the website, and that was it. We were done. All our promotion and marketing right there. So people started buying the book, right? And so it was delivered to a storage unit in Southern California, and Brad, who his day job is to do construction, put in pipes and sprinkler systems and things like that in people's yards. So he's kind of doing both, taking books from the storage unit, shipping them out, right? And it just starts to build. Because people would buy one, they'd read it, they come back and they buy 10 or 15 or a case. Or
like in my situation, I bought a case line.
Yeah. And that's happening over and over again. And then we watched certain key people pick it up, and they would go, oh my gosh. And they would start feeding it. They gave it to a church in Leapers Fall, Tennessee that has gone crazy.
Wow.
And Steve Berger, the pastor, is a huge advocate for the book.
Yeah.
And he's given it to certain people, and and when that starts to happen, we're just watching this build, and it's a pattern that is unusual because there's no promotion.
Yeah.
So everything's starting, and it's just building. And it's building through relationships and conversations and people who care about people, and we're just standing back saying, this is a God thing. So we've gone through, since May, I think it's being translated now in nine languages.
Already?
Yeah, and we didn't go out after translators. They came to us and saying, we need this in our language. And we say, go ahead, and we'll figure out what to do as we go along.
Yeah.
And so the first 11,000, it took us till, I think, August, into September, and we were through it, and we already ordered the next lot of 22,000.
Still soft cover.
Still soft.
Yeah. Okay.
And people were talking about wanting it for Christmas.
Yeah.
And so we decided to do a limited run, 3,500 for Christmas. And so far, it's been paying for each run.
Okay.
So all we did is the initial investment, right? And which is great. And so the second run, we just sold out. And we're, what is it, November or something, 12, 13. And we ordered a 60,000 run, and they're already saying, we better consider making another run before Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah, because of the way that this thing is building, the momentum's building, and it's already all over the world. I get 10 to 20 emails a day from South Africa, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland.
Are they commenting on the blog, or are they emailing you?
They're emailing. And they're commenting on the blog.
Yeah.
They're doing both. And I have Gmail, so it all shows up.
Correct.
And so far I've been able to respond to every email I've ever gotten. Yeah.
Do you put everything on the blog? No. Okay. Because some are personal.
Some are very
personal,
intimate, very heartrending. And they contain stories that are, there are people who have experienced pretty much exactly the story.
Wow.
And they talk to me about it.
Yeah.
That's hard stuff.
Oh, man. That's brutal.
Oh. And yet you're just watching conversations. It changed relationships in my own family right off the bat.
Yeah, I know you shared with me.
Yeah. And you go, oh man, I'm so glad. Well, I was telling somebody today that, 3 years ago, when the healing in my life was pretty much complete. I mean, it was like a 13-year process because I was pretty much destroyed back in '94. And about 3 years ago, at the end of 2004, I just told the Lord, I'm done. I'm never going to ask you to bless anything I'm doing again. I'm not going to do it. I've done it all my life. And at the end of the day, I didn't know what I'd manipulated. I didn't know what I'd kind of twisted people's arms to get done. You get an idea of a great thing to do for God, and then you use all your human resources to try to get it accomplished. And at the end of the day, it kind of stinks, and you're left with a sense that, and the whole thing's pressure laden anyway. It's all performance based. And I said, I'm not into that anymore. I can't live that way anymore. So I'm not going to ever ask you again, and I won't. I will never ask God to bless something I'm doing. Instead, I asked him if I could hang around something that he was blessing.
Wow.
And I said, I don't care. I said, even if there's nothing that you want me to hang around, I don't care anymore, because all I care about is you.
Yeah.
But if you let me hang around something, I'll clean the toilets. I'll shine the shoes, I'll open the doors. I don't care. Because it'd just be cool to hang around something you're bossing. Because I know that's got to be an easy thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like banging your head against the wall when the doorknob's just right next to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. When we got together down in California and started working on just looking at the book, and 4 of us in a little room with sticky notes all over the wall, breaking it down like a screenplay. The Lord really spoke to our hearts and said, you guys need to walk and not run. And the picture was, if you run, you're going to get to doors that I'm not there to open. That's exactly what you were saying. Yeah. So, we had, even back, this is 2006, we had a couple offers from movie companies to buy everything.
Wow.
And Wayne calls me up and says, does this sound like running or walking? And I said, it sounds like running really fast. He says, yeah, that's what I thought, so I turned him down.